Hi, welcome to Cyberbridge. My name's John. For the past 2 weeks, 4 good friends of mine have come together and worked on interdisciplinary lesson plans. We represent 10th grade English, 12th grade English, 12th grade physics, environmental science, health, and special education. In a few moments, you'll hear from my friends, Heather, Kim, Analea, and Sarah. To begin this endeavor, we started with the central theme. We wanted students to critically analyze current events from multiple sources and perspectives related to science. After understanding their target audience, students would then synthesize the content in order to make it accessible to all learners. So from there, we honed it down to a driving question that we'll pose to the students, which is, how can science be presented so that everyone understands it? Ultimately, the students will answer this question by creating a newscast using all sorts of technology. So all the curriculum will be modified in several ways because of Cyberbridge. Looking at English, there'll be many modifications, and in all of these, our scientist, Crystal, who you met earlier, will have a hand. For example, just to highlight one, we're going to ask students to read rather high-level scientific journal kind of writing, and then consume it and produce this newscast where it's simplified enough, but that the science isn't lost. And so Krista will be there to help students navigate this kind of text. Similarly, in science, there'll be a variety of modifications. Again, just for example, students will start with the newscasts, look at popular media kind of newscasts, and then work backwards to find the original science, and then critically examine how well the science was represented by the popular media. And now, for some technology magic.
Thank you. Now, for modifications for health, for 10th grade, we will review anatomy and physiology as well as medical terminology through the use of research of health journals, websites, and different types of videos in which we can incorporate into the curriculum. Students will then apply their research and their findings through a creative English component through the form of poetry, stories, or skits. As for special education, we will provide support for grades 10th and 12th, as well as for our scientist, Dr. Crystal. We will help each disciplinary subject include modifications as well as accommodations for students based on their special needs. Assessments. Students will be assessed by the following forms: informal observations, we will monitor progress, standard rubric, and competencies. Now, let's get digital. Classes will incorporate the following tools and programs. However, we would like to encourage students to use iMovie for their newscasts. And so, to allow creativity and authenticity for their newscasts, we would like students to use green screen to be tech savvy, and to then brainstorm and organize their thoughts through the use of Webspiration. And that's how technology will be incorporated into our program. And now for some more technical magic.
Hi, I'm Kim Elliott, and I am the 12th grade science teacher, and I'm really excited to share with you our plans for the pilot. So first off, we drafted a letter as a team and sent it out to some select students from our school, inviting them to come start this newscast. We have our dates set already. We're starting next month in August, and we already have 15 of our amazing students to join us in our pilot. And now I'm going to go over the plan for the pilot. On day 1, the main goal is to get our students introduced to Cyberbridge, what we've been doing for these past 2 weeks, introduce them to Dr. Crystal, and we're really excited to show them our scientist video that we created here at Cyberbridge because we got hands-on experience incorporating science and technology. And so we're going to use that as an example of what our students can do. And so during this first day, our students will get their hands on some technology. They'll be using flip cams. They'll be looking on the internet to research their news story that they want to present in their newscast. And then on day 2, we're really excited to take them to the Scripps Institute of Oceanography, where they will go to Dr. Crystal's lab, meet some of the scientists, and actually get some footage that they can use in their newscast. So we're going to encourage them to interview these scientists and use them as a valuable source. Next, we hope to get back and have the kids get their hands on the iMovie software and actually get their footage from Scripps Institute of Oceanography and play around with iMovie just a little bit. Then on day 3, we really want to have the kids get more of a tutorial on iMovie. So while they played around with it the previous day, they probably came up with some questions. And on day 3, we will answer their questions on iMovie and introduce the green screen technology. And I think our kids are really going to have a fun time with that one. They're going to further their progress on their project by coming up with a storyboard and a plan for their actual newscast and get some more footage to film. Then by day 4, they will actually begin assembling their video. They can play around with green screen, and they'll work on polishing what they have by adding transitions, working with the audio, doing voiceovers. And finally, on day 5, it'll be their last day to assemble their video and polish it and have it ready to present to the entire Cyberbridge team, as well as hopefully our scientist, Dr. Crystal, and each other. And now, I would like to introduce you to Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather Anderson, and I'm going to talk about our project's 6 A's. First up is authenticity. We really want our students to think about their real-world environment and what applies to them, what interests them. So, to set up their newscasts, we want them to think of a hot topic in science. This could be a current event, but it's something that's pertinent to the students and the world that they live in. We want them to think about how this hot topic applies to their health, population, and the environment that they live in. This gives it some real-world application and has more meaning not only for the students producing the newscast, but also for the audience that they're preparing their newscast for. Regarding academic rigor, which is our second A, we really want students to be able to access higher level text. And we want them to do this with the help of our scientist, Dr. Crystal. We want them to be able to sort and sift through information to determine the importance of the different sources that they're looking at. This is going to require them to do some higher level thinking and push upon their content and knowledge base. After they've done this and they've synthesized the material, we want them to be able to make sure that the information that they've gathered is accessible to the target audience. Our assessment practices are actually really exciting because we have developed a rubric that incorporates science and English along with our technology component. And this rubric is going to be used across all of our grade levels that are participating in this project. So we're excited for the kids to be able to have some common language when it comes to how they're going to be graded and scored, and this is going to create some consistency throughout their newscasts. The rubric is clear and concise, and it outlines the technology requirements, English requirements, and science requirements in order to receive a high-level score on their newscast. And now, I'd like to introduce you to Sarah Soriano.
Hi, I'm Sarah Soriano, the special education teacher. And first I want to talk about active exploration. Students are going to interact, obviously, with the teachers and the scientists, but they're going to be very hands-on. They're going to be working in the labs, interacting with scientists, traveling, so doing everything they can on their own to have a better understanding of their science topic. So we want to definitely be able to get their hands dirty. So they're going to be exploring on their own a lot. For adult connections, there are going to be plenty of adult connections. Not only are the students going to be working with the staff of HSHMC, all the people that you've met, but also with Dr. Crystal. We're going to talk with her so they get a further understanding of the science that they're going to be presenting in their newscast. Finally, with applied learning, I think that when we look at the cooperative groups, there's plenty of skills that they'll be learning while working cooperatively with each other. But the one thing that we want them to really take out of this is that they produce a newscast that is accessible to all learners of the audience that has full with different kinds of learners. So going from kids that have IEPs and English language learners to everyone in the school up to administrators. So they're going to be walking this fine line of simplifying the information, but also making sure that everyone gets the basic concepts and the basic content and vocabulary that they need to get out of it. So we anticipate that when they do the newscast, there'll be a ticker along the bottom so that everything that is going to be explained to them will also be explained as like a summary of it on the bottom. So that will make it even more accessible to the learners. Thank you for watching our video on behalf of HSHMC. We're really excited to start this project, and I know that our students are excited as well. So we look forward to getting this started.